guys, and welcome back to my channel. I hope that you are having a very fine summer, winter break, whatever it is you guys are having, wherever part of the world you are in. Today we have a very special and weird case to talk about, which are the deaths of Kris Kremers and Lisanne Froon, who were two Dutch tourists who disappeared while they were hiking in Panama. As usual, I want to make 3 disclaimers. I want to switch them up a little bit because I always say the same thing in the same order and it's going to be a little boring for you guys. So the first one is that I mean no copyright infringement if I include audio, images, or videos that do not belong to me. This is all for educational purposes, and I mean no, and I have no intention of breaking any kind of laws. The second one is that I am not a part of any investigation. It's all secondhand information. So something may be wrong, something may have been taken out of context, or I may have misinterpreted what I read on the internet. It's all information I'm relaying to you from the internet, so please feel free to correct me. And the third and last one is that I mean no disrespect to anybody that I talk about, and that includes the victims families, suspects, and people who have been convicted in any of the cases that I talk about. And with that, we can go on to the case that we're going to talk about today. Background information on the girls. And the first girl was Lisanne Froon. She was born on September 24th, 1991. She was about 6 feet tall, very athletic, very adventurous. And she did a lot of mountaineering and skydiving, and she was very prone to traveling. She wanted to explore the entire world. Lisanne also liked photography a lot, and she purchased a really good camera to pursue her interest of photography. Now, for the time, right now you think, oh, what a shit camera, but at the time it was a really cool camera. It was a time when you had your cell phone, and the cell phones were so bad at taking pictures that usually needed to have a better camera. It wasn't a professional camera by any means, but it was a way better camera than her phone, and she used to take it in all her travels. And Lisanne was also majoring in applied psychology. And she was Dutch, as well as Kris Kremers, who was born on August 2nd, 1992, and they met working part-time at a cafe in Amersfoort. I'm sorry, I'm so bad at this, in Amersfoort. And they bonded a lot over their love of travel. Now, Kris was the exact opposite of Lisanne. She was, apparently Lisanne was kind of more reserved and more introverted, whereas Kris was very outgoing, very kind. She was known for having a really good sense of humor. She was an amateur actress who was also on the verge of majoring in art history. And they both wanted to explore the world, and they bonded over this, and they decided to look for a place where they could go to together and explore South America. They found a place in Panama in the town of Boquete, which was looking for volunteers or social workers who wanted to help the children study in a very small school over there. And they said, well, what better way than to go do some volunteer work while we learn Spanish and we travel the world. So they set on to do this on March 14th, 2014. They were supposed to start their volunteering work on March 31st, or at least that's what they understood that they had to do. So they spent 2 weeks from the 14th to the 31st traveling and sightseeing, and they reported to the school on March 31st, where they were told that they had arrived too early. So they said, okay, we have another week to go. What can we do? And they decided to go hiking to the Continental Divide, which is a point. I'm gonna have to read from this because I have no idea. I mean, it's a divide, yes, but it is a point which separates the watersheds that flow into the Pacific Ocean to the south and Caribbean Sea to the north. And the highest point is the Mirador, or a lookout that from which you can go, which is like the peak and the highest point, and that's where all tourists go because you can get a 360 degrees panorama view of the entire place. And it's supposed to be the trail that goes up there is the trail, the Pianista Trail, that is the one that gets up to the Mirador, and it's supposed to feel or look like as if you're walking on clouds, because there is a whole trail of clouds that goes way so high that you're literally walking on clouds. So it's supposed to be very attractive for tourists, for hikers, and anybody who wants to do any outdoor tourism, and that is where they decided to go. On April 1st, they were last seen talking to some fellow Dutchmen that they had met over there having brunch. And that's the same day that they did their final Facebook posting saying that they were on their way to explore the divine. So they set out on April 1st, and it is known that they arrived at the Mirador, or the Lookout, at 1 p.m. for the Facebook posting. They decided to start their hike along with Blue, who was the dog of the family whose house they were lodging with. And they reportedly got to the Mirador at 1 p.m. And it was, by all accounts, it was supposed to be just a one-day excursion because they didn't take any food with them, just a bottle of water. So they were supposed to go down, I think it was a 4-hour trek, 4-hour trek both ways. I mean, to go there it would take you 4 hours, and to come back 4 hours, it was like an 8-hour trek, but it was just for the day. However, that night only Blue returned, and the girls were not with the dog, and they were not seen again. That was the last time that anybody ever heard anything of the girls. People did not begin to get very worried until the following morning, where they had a booked appointment with a local tour guide, and they did not show up for it. And when their families in the Netherlands did not receive any text messages from them, which they used to do on a daily basis, especially when they were traveling. Some townsfolk and some residents began to search the area on April 3rd, and there is some debate whether the police got involved right at that time. The local authorities started doing aerial sweeps right at that time, because some people contend that it happened on April 6th when the families arrived to look for them. The thing is that anyway, they started looking for them. The families posted flyers, rewards. They really went into the jungle to look for them, and the girls were never found. They found no trace of the girls until about 10 weeks later, when a girl from the Nobe tribe, indigenous tribe called Nobe, walked into the police station with Lisanne's backpack in her hand, saying that she had found it on a rice paddy while she was working there, and that she had found it like lodged between two branches. And what she definitely knew and really just 100% said and stated was that it had not been there the previous day, because she used to work there all the time, and it was not there the previous day, which kind of meant, or should have meant, that the backpack washed downstream to that place on that day. Okay, so in the backpack they found, I'm gonna have to read this because I don't exactly remember, they found 2 pairs of sunglasses, a water bottle, $83 in cash, or the equivalent in Panama currency, which I don't exactly know what it is. Lisanne's passport, her camera, and the girls' mobile phones. And both the camera, the mobile phones were in working order, and everything was dry, so it kind of was very difficult for it to have been washed downstream without the devices getting ruined or things getting wet. Now, they also found in that area, while they started exploring a little more, they found Kris's shorts, and some people said that they were found zipped up and neatly folded on top of a rock, whilst others said that they had seen them floating in the river. That has never reached any conclusion, so we actually don't know how they found them. And they also found one of Kris's empty boots located in the same area where they found the jeans. Over the next few weeks, they found a total of 33 bone fragments over a very small area, and that included the girls' bones and the bones of 3 other unidentified people. What? Okay, that's not creepy. I don't know what creepy is.